Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever it may be, whether you're tuned in live, whether you're tuned into the replay. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Brunch Gimmick. Pluggo, Blair, Zach,
hello,
Spencer. It's good to see y'all. Zach over here looking like he wants to make $1,000 to $5,000. Lawrence in plaid. Pluggo looking handsome, Blair looking handsome. We're all looking good. It's great to see you, and it is great to see all of you in the chat this morning. If you're here, let us know. Throw us a like. We got a huge episode today, so we're going for 20.
Yeah.
I think 20 is a fair little number for us to aim for this morning.
Yeah.
It is good to see you. I've talked a lot. Smash the like button, hammer the subscribe button, turn on the bell, hit the bell, whatever, ring the bell. Molly Bell. There we go. Cheap shout out for a great person. Hit the bell.
Well done. That was seamless. That was a seamless plug.
See, I'm getting pretty good at this hosting thing. I don't know if anyone else noticed, but like the only thing I'm not good at is
this whole time I have not been holding them up
button here on StreamYard, because like everyone got a good little view of our faces there for a couple of seconds and the 30-second mark. Anyways, I'm gonna Blair first. Save me. How you doing?
I'm good. I tried to warn you that the loop wasn't going, but I had a mouthful of popcorn and just
You got there. That's okay.
yeah, it's all right.
What would it be if people didn't get a look at how the proverbial sausage is made sometimes, hey? Pluggo, what's up? How you doing, stud?
I'm doing well, friend. I didn't notice the loop because I don't notice things. I'm oblivious to buttons.
I did notice actually you sent out your promotional tweet about today's show. Hey, Ophelia, any way to mute whoever that is when not talking? It can barely hear anyone. I would assume
Probably me. It's
at
me.
the
Can
Women's
you...
Wrestling Syndicate today, of course, on the scene for their first ever event. Lufisto running that one, and a lot of great people involved. But Laurence, it's good to see you. Thanks for finding a quiet place in the venue.
Yes, in a completely different location, nowhere near Zach. I am not at all facing Zach at all. I am an on-the-scene reporter. Nope, this is a completely different location. This is fake news.
I can't believe how far Zach traveled just to get that clip of Laurence there.
I know.
He's a time traveler, an absolute time traveler. Laurence, how's the vibe in there, man? It's, again, a first show for a promotion we're all really excited about over in Love Wrestling, but being live on the scene, what's the vibe check?
Oh, it's great. Like, everyone is so excited. Zach and I tested too. Just everyone, like, there's a little bit of nerve. It is their first show, but, like, it is definitely, everyone's really happy to be here. They're ready to get fans here. It's going to be a really, really, like, we got to hear, like Sisko's pre-show speech. And, like, she has a great vision for what is to come for this. And a very unique vision, like, separate from IWS, separate from everything else. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming out of here.
Yeah. If you guys have the opportunity, I think it was 2 weeks ago. If not, it was last week. No, it was 2 weeks ago. I was here. Tune into the replay of the Brunch Gimmick because we had El Santo and then, of course, Lufisto herself join us for a quick little interview, a chat about the WWS. Zach, we're going to test here, buddy. Can we hear you? Can we hear you when you're...
Can you hear me when I'm speaking?
I can hear you when you're speaking.
You can hear me when I'm speaking.
I'll let the chat be the judge of it. But how's your vibe? How are you feeling?
Oh, the vibes are outstanding. Everyone is warming up in the ring, getting ready for some big fights here at the Women's Wrestling Syndicate. The energy is just really lively. I want to also shout out how great of a job Laurence has been doing. He's been making me look like a chump. He's already done 3 interviews versus my only one. This dude is crushing it.
Yeah. Not only your B2B fantasy football champ, your interview champ.
The women's wrestling event, I don't believe is streaming. I don't know if that's changed since I was on here a couple of weeks ago, but they did say there were plans for it to be online at some point sooner rather than later. So whether that's a free show, whether that's YouTube, whether that's IWTV or wherever that may be, I'm excited to tune in. So stay up to date for the latest and greatest. Laurence, any matches you're particularly excited for this? I guess afternoon. It's going to be what? You're about an hour out, couple of hours out?
Yeah, like fans are coming in about 20 minutes. It starts at 2 o'clock. Legitimately, I'm excited for
Don't make me do math this early in the morning, dude. I have the earliest start time for that. People forget that.
Yeah.
I got called out by Pluggo and Blair because they didn't think I'd be here today. I am here today. I didn't sleep in. I was overserved last night. I had a few refreshments, but I'm here.
No, it's AI. Spencer broke the bank and just did AI Spencer. So he can just not show up anymore.
It's true.
Hologram.
Spencer, I am, in fact, Spencer GPT.
Yeah. Just going to explain randomly. Chair. That's what normal humans say.
If you guys notice, I'm not talking with my hands as much because I've got 13 fingers.
Yeah.
Anyways, to not bury the lead, sorry, Laurence. Any matches you're particularly excited for? Anything you're particularly excited for the debut today?
Oh, legitimately the whole card because it's a great mix, and like Blair and Pluggo broke it down yesterday. It's a great mix of people I know from the IWS and people from like all around the East Coast who I haven't had a chance to see because like they work further up Quebec, Nova Scotia, like other different places, New Brunswick. And like it's so exciting to see new talent, and hopefully they can come down to Montreal more often and make a regular thing because I'm very excited to see a lot of different people.
Zach, same question to you.
I have to stand up to unmute myself. What? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you in high definition.
No, that's okay. You look great. The sound is like a war zone.
Oh yeah. Again, like Laurence is only sitting 3 to 4 to possibly 60 feet away from me, depending on who you ask. But like even though I hear you guys having this conversation, I can't hear him just over there. It's the energy is up there. And again, like this room is full of hungry wrestlers who just want to steal the show. I cannot wait for the bell to ring. It's great to like be in the space, but once the bell rings, it's going to be a completely different environment that I'm very excited to be here for the inaugural event. WWS Caught in the Mosh. It's going to be so much fun.
Heck yeah. Now, Pluggo and Blair, you guys had Katrina Creed on the show yesterday for exposure. See how friggin' good I'm getting at not only just remembering to show up for brunch, but like the other programming we do here? Look at me. 2024.
Proud of you,
The year of
Spencer.
Spencer.
Proud of you.
The year of Spencer. I'm pulling a George Costanza. I'm just what I would normally do. I'm just doing the exact opposite, and it's working out great. You had Katrina Creed on the show yesterday. Just give me a little bit of insight as to like what the locker room's like right now from like I know not the insider perspective, it's secondhand from you, but you got the firsthand perspective.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think Lawrence nailed it on the head. Katrina said it yesterday morning. Everyone's out there looking to steal the show and just put on a really killer show and really wants to highlight a lot of these women that, like Lawrence said, again, she said it as well, that maybe you don't know and you haven't seen some of the non-IWS people. So, like, that's the vibe in the locker rooms. Everybody's looking to come out today and just kill it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of excitement when it comes to being able to bring in, like, because Lefista mentioned, they want to bring in wrestlers not just from the Montreal area, but outside, wrestlers that may not have wrestled yet in Quebec, opening the doors to all these different wrestlers and bringing them. And so I think there's a lot of excitement with that too. The opportunity facing off with new talent, new wrestlers that they haven't had the chance yet. So a lot of excitement running through there.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. If you guys are here, if you're tuned in, remember, throw us a like, hammer that subscribe button, all that good
She
stuff.
also... Go ahead. Sorry, I'm burying your plugs. I apologize.
That's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. I remember where we're at. I remember where I was.
I forgot
that
to
subscribe
say
button because not only do we have the Women's Wrestling Syndicate, damn it, Pluggo, but coming up here in a couple of minutes, we've got Ravenous Randy Myers joining us. You've seen him in Love Pro Wrestling. If you've got the chance, check out their few matches that they've had with LPW. Frick, real early in our careers. Ravenous Randy was a huge part of our early days. But make sure you stay tuned because they'll be joining us as they chat about their Love You Weirdo at the Slice of Life Gallery. Hello, JPJ. Good to see you as well. Good to see you and Drew back on the air. Hey, Chris Starr.
Hi, friend.
Good to see you.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well, you?
I'm good. How are you feeling? You guys are like 45 minutes from the start of the first ever show. How you feeling? How's the vibe?
I'm pretty excited because it's been months, in the making. So here we are,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You've got a big match this afternoon. Give us a little bit of a sneak preview of your opponent this afternoon. How are you feeling going in?
I'm super excited because I'm up against an up-and-comer, Ronnie Page. She's coming from Nova Scotia. I said Ronnie Page. I meant to say Ronnie Payne. My bad. I'm speaking really fast. I'm just so excited. So to be me against her, so that's going to be very exciting because I don't know what to expect. I think she's going to catch me by surprise, but I'm going to do my best to do my best.
Yeah. Have you ever had the chance to be on like an all-women show like this before? If you have, what's the experience like? And like, if not, what have maybe the differences been heading into it?
Yeah, so I've been on a few, not as many. Like, I've only been wrestling for 2 years, so maybe I've been on like 3 all-women shows. And honestly, the atmosphere is just very empowering. Like, we did this one show. There was a documentary they made called King du Sang. It was this documentary on Lufisto, Lou Farrell, Azael. It was an all-women show right after the documentary, and the vibes were so insane. So it's just really special to be a part of because, you're saying to one woman's match or something. So to have a whole show, it's like pretty cool.
Well, I was going to say getting the opportunity, and like all the guys on here have said it a couple of times, but getting the opportunity to maybe get some new people that like maybe haven't been a part of the IWS before, had the opportunity to come out east before. Like that's got to be super exciting too, hey?
Yeah, it's definitely opening doors for people that maybe, they wouldn't be here if it wasn't for WWS. It's for bringing in people from different areas. So that's a lot of fun because just, new matchups. There's so many different things that can happen because often as a women's wrestler, you go months off wrestling the same person over and over again. And it's like, oh, you again. So it's nice because this show actually, every matchup has never happened before. So it's a new match for every single person. Yeah, let's just try to make sure that would happen.
Very, very, very cool. If you guys have questions for the sweetest pea in the chat, Ophelia, JPJ, anyone in between, let us know. We're sticking around. Well, I would assume for a little bit. Like I said, it's about 43 minutes from doors, which is very, very exciting. It was cool to have Lufisto on here. Talk to me about the experience. There we go. Internet works again.
We're back.
We're back. Talk to me about the experience of working with Lufisto as a promoter, because for her, when she was on here a couple of weeks ago, she just talked about just the wildly different experience for her. But being someone who, like you said, has worked with her a little bit before as a wrestler, what's it been like working with her as a promoter?
Yeah, it's very different. You see a different side of her. She's, very organized. Like, sometimes you come to shows, you don't know what's going on. But Lufisto has everything planned. She's sending out emails. She's making sure everyone's fine. We got some good tea. We got water. It's very water. No, we got snacks. Like, honestly, she's going so above and beyond to make sure everyone feels really comfortable and just super excited.
Hell yeah.
I'm sorry. I am pro water in locker rooms. 100%.
Controversial opinion, apparently, Pluggo. Apparently a controversial opinion.
Very controversial on my part. Sorry.
You had mentioned that it's going to be all first-time matchups, and I mean, you're going to be facing off with Ronnie Payne for the first time. Is there anyone else that you've noticed in the locker room that maybe you've sized up that you're like, yeah, I want to have a match with them, setting the stage for something forward?
Definitely, there's so many people from New Brunswick and Nova Scotia that I've never faced before, so it's cool to know that I don't have to dream of one day facing them. It's actually possible because they'll probably be coming here more regularly. So I've never wrestled Chantel, so that would be very fun. Something to explore.
Nice.
Well, heck yeah. Well, hopefully we get her on one of the many upcoming events from the WWS. Thanks for joining us, Lawrence. Same to you.
Thanks for having
Enjoy
me.
the show. Thank you for hopping on. See you soon, friend. Lawrence, see you soon. Enjoy the show. Let us know how it was. I'll talk to you in Slack here in the next couple of hours as the show progresses. So enjoy. I'm just waiting to see if Zach comes back to say goodbye to him. If he doesn't, then there we go. Hi, Zach.
Look at that stud.
See, I just want to at least say goodbye to my friends before they go to the wrestling show. Zach, have fun, my friend. Enjoy. Thank you for joining us. And whenever you guys have the opportunity to tune into today's WWS event, whether online, online, it's happening today. And if you don't have tickets, tough shit.
On your cable TV, provider.
On your cable TV provider, on your Betamax, on your VHS,
your
wherever
bootleg,
you got the opportunity.
Tape
Years
trading.
from now in the future, if you're tuned into this, you've probably tuned into it with the implant in your brain, whatever. Well,
the fan cam footage.
There we go. Exactly. Man, that was a blast, and I'm excited for those guys. It's going to be a great opportunity for a lot of the women out there on the East Coast, and hopefully, I know you guys brought this up yesterday, but hopefully a few more of the West Coast folks to come out. Don't think that I didn't hear Katrina Creed hoping for some Liza Hall and some Zoe Saggers, some Nicole Matthews.
That would be
selfishly, wrestling fan Spencer would love it. That'd be an absolute blast. Slow news week in wrestling, hey?
Nothing happened.
Absolutely nothing happened. Well, it looks like the story was finished, but not at all. Not at all how we thought it was going to happen. Not at all how we believed that this story was going to finish. We all thought that Mr. Cody Rhodes would be having his hand raised in victory at WrestleMania, and while that may still be the case, it certainly ain't going to be in the way that I think any one of us expected.
Hey, Cody, what story?
The book is closed, friends.
The only story that matters is my story at head of the table.
Look, I got to be honest with you guys. I'm going to WrestleMania. The second The Rock's music hits, I'm sure I'm not going to give a darn about the story. No. Excuse my language. I'm going to be excited.
But he's going to get down.
Yeah, it's going to do great business. I understand all the reasons that it's happening. That being said, what in the hot hell? I don't understand, and I admittedly, so I caught up here on SmackDown a little bit while I was cleaning my home this morning, and I don't. I just don't get. I don't get any of it. I don't understand any of it. This.
Let me make
this
it
for
make
me
sense,
is just
Spencer.
I can't remember. I think it was Trevor Dame who tweeted it out. Who's a great follow, by the way. Who said something along the lines of, it's so odd that the two guys who were there, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, are the two guys whose plans have just been in the most flux for the last few years. And they're the two guys who are like, no discredit to anyone else, but if I remember even right, both of those guys were number 1 and 2 as far as just matches had for WWE last year between the house shows and pay-per-views and PLEs, excuse me, and all of that sort of good stuff. And,
but I still get paid 10 times as much as they do.
Well, and wrestling is a very cruel business. I understand that, but like finishing the story, anybody who has said isn't about Cody beating Roman Reigns, like I'll just point to the 2 weeks before this happened where Cody Rhodes, like, at least in my opinion, seemed to deny Seth Rollins on, hey, well, I want you to challenge me. And like directly pointed at Roman Reigns to close the Rumble out and then pointed at the WrestleMania sign.
Like you have 2 nights of WrestleMania for a reason. Like
I don't, sorry, go ahead.
Let me ask you this.
Dude.
Would you rather Cody finish his story in Heartbreak losing to me or just not finish his story at all?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Get out.
Okay.
I understand.
No, it was the stupidest decision of all time, okay? It was the worst move they could have made. They've never done this in the history of the Royal Rumble. Quit burying the lead. He won the Royal Rumble. He gets the right to choose his opponent, and he goes, I'm not choosing your opponent in the main event of WrestleMania. None of that makes sense. They've never done this before in the history of the Royal Rumble winner.
This is Hogan and Brett.
Ever.
That's the closest comparison that I can think of, and even then,
it is the worst
like,
thing they've
Brett
ever
main
done.
evented Mania.
It is absolutely malpractice. Why have him go back to back?
Malpractice.
Why have him walk out there, tell Seth he's going to think about it, then tell Roman, I'm coming for you, but not at WrestleMania. The reason I won the Royal Rumble to begin with. You don't tell me how to live my life.
Are you all right down there? And there we go. Cody is going to finish his story at WrestleMania Backlash. Yeah.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I certainly am not as passionate about it, but I don't get it. And even just storyline wise, like you say, you know, if you're going to get to the Rock and Roman at Mania and say Cody's going to win it at SummerSlam, and we've talked about this. Number one, you get that Hogan record, which like I'm in favor of. In my humble opinion, get that guy off the record books when you got the opportunity to. And B, like Roman's had a lot of big moments at SummerSlam. I love the idea of, you know, the biggest show of the summer. It never will be WrestleMania, and I mean that in the nicest of ways, but like WrestleMania, it's the biggest show for anything anywhere as far as wrestling goes. If you can try and make SummerSlam as big as possible with something like that, maybe not my personal thought, but cool. Like at least you give us a story that's like you say.
Why have him win the Royal Rumble?
Like, exactly. Why
book it this way? What are you doing?
Have the Rock like and I don't know.
And for those people, for those people that thought that the title wasn't going to be involved in the Rock and Roman story, how's that working out for you?
See, I'm fine with that. That's the thing. I'm
talking about the haters.
I am okay. You know what? Even here's the thing. Cody's reason for all of this stuff with we need to take everything from you. Like that should be the Rock's reason. I'm fine with him coming in and wanting to take the title and be the head of the table and all this sort of crap, not crap, all of this, but like that should be Roman's reason, not Cody's. And if Cody wants to do it, well, he can do it.
At this point, if he wins the title, if Cody wins the title, it's not going to hit the same. They've completely made this not as important as it was last year. He should have won it last year, called it a day. We figured it out because he was hot then. Everything was. They've prolonged it for a year, telling us that this is what they were going to do.
I think we can finally conclusively say we have let it play out. We have let last year play out.
What is your Royal Rumble winner doing at WrestleMania? Somebody tell me. What is he doing at WrestleMania now? He won the opportunity for the main event of WrestleMania.
Wrestling Seth. He's got to be wrestling Seth.
It's not going to be the same. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want.
I don't
that.
disagree with you one bit, but like that's where it
I
comes
know.
in for me is that like Cody's story, whether or not people talk about it, let's embargo the word story for next 10 minutes.
Everybody's got a story to finish.
Yeah, stories. It's embargoed. We're not using that word. This tale. That Cody's been telling, whether or not it started right off, and well played, whether or not it started off the bat as defeating Roman Reigns, it certainly became about defeating Roman Reigns when he lost last year.
And that's what they
just
told
did.
us.
And that's what they've been building. And that's why, what was it, 2-3 months ago, Roman and him came face to face at Rip. Stop. That's why they came face to face. And that's why there was the tension in the face off.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
this is the worst thing.
I don't understand it. Like I said, I get it, and I am going to completely eat my words when The Rock's music hits at Mania and I just lose it like a 12-year-old. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a spectacle. It's a match that in a bubble I'm really excited for.
Can I ask, in all seriousness?
No,
though,
you can't.
like,
There's no questions allowed on this show, Pluto.
What purpose does Cody have given the spot to The Rock? Like what like I know I seeked counsels, what he said. What actual reasoning do you have to go, you know what? I want The Rock to take my spot. This ain't Rudy, bro. Rock is not Rudy.
He had to seek counsel with The Rock.
Right.
Like, who else is gonna tell him, hey man, you know what you need to do?
Yeah. Who's back there backstage like Akira Tozawa going, hey Cody, you should give your spot to The Rock.
I think if we
like
really
Cody.
want to stick it to Roman, you need to give up on this thing you have earned. That's exactly it.
You're not the
Who
guy,
did you take
pal.
counsel
The
with?
Rock is the guy, pal. Like, what are we doing here? I'm so confused. I'm so upset.
This will teach Cody to smash a throne. Like, this all could have been avoided.
Oh my god.
There's a great comment though that says Green Skull, welcome to the chat.
I was just pulling it up. Good to see you, friend. They're going to do the WrestleMania Yes movement again. There's no way they can't at this point. The one piece that I've like sort of had in the back of my head, and I'm still trying to figure out how they get there, is like, is this how they eventually turn Roman babyface? People hate The Rock right now, which no one ever thought would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Can you somehow make The Rock the heel and all this sort of thing? Start to turn Roman's babyface turn, and then, like you say, maybe insert Cody or Yes movement or however you do it. I don't know how you do it.
I don't want this.
I really
to be a
don't.
triple
What are
threat,
we gonna
though.
do? Like the Yes movement, even at its core, like that was a 6, 7, 8 month process that already had a ton of heat behind it. Now Cody's got the ton of heat behind it, but like, what we're quite literally WrestleMania night 1 is 2 months today, isn't it? April 4th.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 nights today.
Yeah.
If not, or 2 months, excuse me. If not 2 months in a day, April 5th and 6th might be it. But I don't. What are we all going to do? Jump the barricades and take over the ring?
Yeah. Yes. But it wouldn't be the same, and it wouldn't matter. And I don't want this to be like, let's insert Cody into a spot that he already earned.
Yeah, not at all. I
You know
mean,
what's Cody got to do? Earn the adversity.
Hey,
You gotta
Cody,
overcome
maybe
adversity. He's overcame adversity.
Maybe
See,
you
he
should
always
smash that
man. Way to
throne,
go, Pluggo.
Cody.
You got me fired up.
I'm
Got me
sorry.
upset. Thank you, Blair, for being the calm, cool. Like if we were,
Be
if
the
we
voice
were
of reason, Blair.
I think he agrees. I think he's just more calm about it because you got me fired up. You worked me into a shoot, Pluggo.
Yeah, let's go. You should be
Like-
fired up about this.
Someone make sense of it for me. Someone smarter than me, make it make sense. Someone.
You never saw Austin after he won the Rumbles being like, you know what, Taker? Why did you have this one?
Yeah,
No?
exactly. Thank you.
No,
It's not even Taker. It's like going to Bob Backlund. Like,
hey, Iron Sheik, you want to face
that's
off
exactly.
against
It's not like
the
he's going to an active dude. And again, I preface all of this. Excited for the match in a vacuum.
Yes.
The next couple of months.
Sure.
Like
gonna be
that's
fun,
that's
but-
exactly it. He didn't go. Austin would have never gone to an active roster member.
No.
Like that's the comparison. He's going to a guy that hasn't wrestled a match. Like, look, lots of love to Eric Rowan, a guy who hasn't wrestled a match since WrestleMania 28. It's WrestleMania 40.
Taker was a bad comparison. It was the first name that came to
he
my head,
needs-
but it's one of
he
those.
Oh no, I
needs,
know, but it just illustrates the
Yeah.
collusion.
You want to talk about
history
finishing
is.
stories? Eric Rowan needs to finish his too.
Get
He's-
revenge.
yeah,
Well, what do you think WrestleMania Backlash is there for?
Maybe that's the council. Maybe Eric Rowan was like, "Yeah, I want to see The Rock get his ass kicked for a bit. Give it to Dwayne."
I just
Hey Cody, it's Eric.
why? So like, I get that. I'm fully aware that plans kind of changed when CM Punk's injury happened, so you don't really have a spot for Rollins. I had said it on Thursday, like I'm cool with it. I understand why he's going to push through, but if Punk is hurt, Rollins is hurt, let's figure out a way to just get Seth some time to heal as well. This is what they came up with. They were like, we're going to pitch this idea that Cody faces Seth.
What if you
And
had
then
The
he's
Rock
gonna-
face Rollins? Like genuinely, what if you just had The Rock face Rollins, win the title, give Seth Rollins? Like he's been in good spots. The Cody match a couple of years ago was a great spot. Logan Paul, popular wise, maybe not the match I would have wanted off the bat, but a good spot. But every year for the last 3, 4, 5 years, you start talking about injuries. Guys, WrestleMania plans have been bunged up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Give him The Rock, have The Rock win the title. Screw it, whatever. Cody never finishes the story. Have Roman retain it, and then you do a title for title like they've already floated out there as a unification match for these two titles.
Let's
I doubt
not do
that's
that.
true.
though.
We just introduced a new one, but like,
Yeah,
I at the very least would understand that a little bit more. You know what I mean?
just
Brock
don't
came back. He was like, "Well, I want to be the head of the table too.
there's
I'm going to take a different title, and here we go. Haha, I've got mine." That's way better than like, "Here you go, Dwayne."
I'm just happy in knowing that there's much smarter people out there in this wrestling community that don't understand this. So the fact that I don't understand it,
I'm not alone. I'm not.
yeah, the
alone.
fact that I
I'm
don't
not.
understand it makes me feel good. I don't get why this decision was made. I don't understand what I'm coming for you, but at a different time, and I'm going to give my what the. I don't understand.
What the
That-
gosh darn? Excuse
that-
my strong
Why?
language, but what the
Why?
gosh darn?
That line reminded me when Shane came back and he talked about the lockbox, and everyone's like, well, "What's the lockbox?" So it's like,
Well,
we're gonna go
unfortunately,
for
we
another
found out what's in the
line.
lockbox at this point, and I'm not talking about that here on a stream that I'm having a really good time on this morning. If you guys want coverage on that end of things, as always, I would highly suggest you guys head over to Fightful. They've done a good job of covering it accurately and responsibly to this point.
Yeah.
So they're much more. We talk about qualified individuals, but we know what was in that lockbox. So I don't know. This is
Well,
horrible.
when does
This is
Cody-
bad. I don't like it, but I don't know.
When does
I'm part of
Cody
the
go
problem
after
because I'm still
Roman?
excited.
When does? Well, yeah, I'm excited. I think I've said it a bunch of times. And this is actually, I'm going to go back on my words a little bit here. I've said that any way you slice the decision, probably is going to be a good decision because of all the components. But the way that they decided to make this decision just makes Cody look absolutely ridiculous.
Mhm.
They didn't.
People
It wasn't.
talking, you see the comment a couple of times online, and everyone's entitled to their opinion within reason. But like the people saying, "Well, it's not about the story. Why is it about the story? It's about the box office." Like my favorite old El Paso Taco commercial. Why not both? Because I get it on the business sense. I 100% get it on the business sense. That being said, they sold out of WrestleMania tickets before a single match was announced. So
Yeah.
there you go. But like in my
WrestleMania
opinion,
doesn't
tuning
have
into
a
shows
problem
in the
moving.
long term. In the long term, you tune into any TV show, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, whatever, for the stories of it. You do, right? You watch the viewership for that 70s show near the end. A lot of people tuned out when Randy showed up. Like,
Listen,
I'll take
I'm
any opportunity. He and Scrappy Doo are the two worst characters in television history.
I don't
the two
remember
absolute
Randy
worst.
on that 70s show.
Blair,
It's because people stopped watching.
I have a great memory as is, but I wish I had your exact memory. If I could remember everything except Randy.
I'm gonna have
The
to
worst.
Google
Bottom
him
tier
afterwards.
Randy, F tier Randy, not up there with the S tier Leahy Randys or Randy from South Park. There we go.
I guess that's my guy.
S tier Randys, F tier
When I
Randys.
woke up,
Randy Marsh.
When I woke up this morning, I didn't expect to hear Old El Paso commercial and that 70s show dropped into this conversation. So
We like to have a good time here on Love
for
Wrestling.
you,
Brunch
buddy.
Gimmick.
I'm here
In
for the
about 14 minutes here, we are going to be tuning in to a tag team matchup. Speaking of good times, from LPW 22, Ride or Die versus the Canadian Goose and Wolf Boy Will Mantla. So stick around for that, obviously. But sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to make sure I got my plug in here. You see,
I just wanted to say I for one am very, very excited for Cody to cash in his Royal Rumble spot at Great Balls of Fire.
What about Fastlane?
Cody's just gonna like win Money in the
What
Bank.
about
and
Roadblock?
give it to
Roadblock.
someone else.
Yeah. Hey, I
He's
won
gonna
this
win money in the bank, and he's just gonna be like, "Hey, Seth, you really got done dirty at WrestleMania. Here you go, bro."
Here you go.
Like,
Good guy, Cody, man. Good guy, Cody.
Yeah.
We're that's the lead we're burying. Cody is just a genuinely great person.
Cody
who is
Rhodes
with-
is like the smartest dude in pro wrestling. So that's one of the things that makes me have faith in this. Is like, man, he's a smart dude. Storyline. This is about the dumbest thing I've ever seen anyone do ever anywhere at any point.
Here's a deep cut for you. Cody Rhodes is the Barney Rubble, giving his spot to Fred so Fred could become the executive and get out of the slums.
Yeah. What was his name? I remember the Jetsons. Spacely, Mr. Spacely Sprocket.
Yeah. I just watched that movie the other day.
Okay, there was Mr. Spacely, and what was the competitor's name? Because
I don't know. I just remember they all made sprockets.
Yeah.
To this day, you guys, I have no idea what the fuck a sprocket is. Not one. Not one clue what a sprocket is and why they were so important in the future, to the point that like it was the focal point of a generational feud. Because the Spacely kids hated their competitors as well too. Like this is something that this is the Hatfields and the McCoys of what about the year 2000? I don't know, something. They were in the 2000s. Hey Siri,
still waiting on my car.
What year did the Jetsons take place?
In the year 2000.
In the year 2000.
Great shout.
It was not the year 2000, unfortunately.
I know.
This is dead air. If
Mr.
somebody can please Google.
Mr.
There we go. Oh man, I might be.
Thanks a lot, Cody.
And also, this is another cheap plug for Hanna-Barbera. But if you guys ever have the opportunity to watch Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anywho,
wacky races back in the day, the old school.
I loved wacky races.
Yeah, that was the best.
There we go. Ophelia hopping in with the save 2062. Thanks, homie.
The official statistician of Love Wrestling, Ophelia Payne.
It ain't me. That ain't my strong suit. 2062, boy.
We would be lost on Thursdays without Ophelia's knowledge, because the amount of things I get wrong.
I'm lost right now.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to chat on from the week in wrestling? I'm
Brian Keith is officially all elite. That is the dopest signing they've had all year outside of Deanna, in my opinion.
I like
it.
Well deserved.
I quite like it. I haven't admittedly watched any of Collision or Dynamite. Tuned into firmly AEW this morning, and they said the Collision was great and that Dynamite was mid. I have not tuned in to either of those quite yet, but hopefully I can take care of that today. I have to go and pick up my vehicle at 12:30, so in about 45 minutes, because again, I was overserved. When I say overserved, please know that I'm joking. The Festival Play staff did a very, very good job and had a really, really good night at our fundraiser last night. But I had a few refreshments, I suppose would be the better way to put it. So I got to go pick my car up at some point.
I would just say Dynamite this past week was like, if you watched it 2 weeks ago and they showed off all that young and upcoming talent and that big, like, this is our future, they were like, welcome to the past. It's all of our old
Why
guys.
did everybody just like reverse retro this week?
Yeah, they were like, we're going all old school, baby. Jeff
Like, what
Hardy.
happened? Are we in 90s week? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like when you used to show up to school with trapper keepers and stuff like that because they were trying to do a fundraiser for the band to take a field trip. That's what this week was like in wrestling.
Yeah.
That is the clip I will be sending out from this as well too. 90s week.
Yeah,
She's
'cause
like,
Your 5-star trapper keeper with the zipper.
ooh,
Or is that-
see you.
What's that?
No, you've got the high quality stuff.
Yeah.
This is an ooh of jealousy. That's what that is.
You got top shelf Pluggo down there.
Yeah, way
My
to
mom
go.
splurged on a trapper keeper.
You might be on the bottom up there, but you're too high rent for us, bud.
You probably had
Jeez.
the like 200 pack of crayons too, didn't you?
No.
I bet you could pick your favorite flavors of lip smackers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, lip smackers. No, not me. No.
I never ordered them, but I would always, while I was going through my Archie comics, I would pick my favorite flavors and the ones that I would want.
The Lisa Frank folders with the fancy. You guys know those up in Canada?
No, we
They were
don't.
like-
we're
they
not.
were
We're
like
not.
very-
We're not rich. Pluggo,
What?
like
Oh, yeah.
some people on this stream right
What
now.
is that? A third world country up there? What are you talking?
Where did you
about?
vacate? Vacations in Prague. High class trapper keepers. This is ridiculous.
Well,
No reason. There's no wonder you can't understand a budget Pluggo. You've never had one.
I mean, I do have my fancy expensive.
That was too
cardigan.
far. I couldn't continue. I could not continue the bit from there.
You got your cardigan, your like pure spring water.
There you go.
My-
Yeah,
my
what's that
coat-
cardigan made of? See, I'm
Pure
sitting here in my
cat-
fanciest. I'm sitting here in my fanciest Kirkland.
Your fanciest Kirkland. I don't have a Costco
course.
membership because Costco's beneath me.
Well, maybe if you weren't spending all your money on Lisa Frank notebooks here.
Let me guess. You guys didn't even have book fairs. You could buy books, huh? You didn't
Oh,
get
of
to
course,
do-
we had book fairs. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? The Scholastic Book Fair, Pluggo. Now, we might need to completely change the format of the brunch gimmick because if we just want to pick, like, I'm not even going to get started on that one. Things you want to see me fired up in a real
Goosebumps
positive
books?
way? Oh, absolutely. I love the Goosebumps books. I also loved Animorphs. I was a big Animorphs guy. Those are always good.
Nope, not for me, pal.
You didn't read Animorphs, or do you not have them below the border?
We have them, but I also don't know how to read.
That's fair. They've got a lot of pictures in them, though.
Oh yeah.
We need book fairs for adults. You have to, honestly, the best part of the book fair was the allowance. So I'm here for an allowance as well, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I was growing up, because I'm old, Goosebumps was later on, but we had the Boxcar Children, if you ever remember those.
No.
That was the series we had.
Babysitter's Club was one when I was really young.
Mhm.
I'm a little
Ironically
older than,
enough, I read the Hardy Boys because of my dad. He liked the Hardy Boys a lot. See, and that ties us right back to 90s week. AEW Dynamite this week, I was told, was mid. I brought it back around. I didn't think it happened, but I brought it back around. There we go. Someone else.
Spencer's figuring this out.
We're
I was gonna say
getting
the book fairs for adults. I know Mrs. Pluggo would be down to fill you.
They always had like cool little kitschy stuff too. Like, one of my favorite parts of going to like most bookstores is like the fun little stuff at the front. I am a sucker for like those little $5 to $10. I'm a sucker for a trinket.
Yeah,
I guess is the best.
The
way to put it.
overpriced trinkets at the book fair where your mom was like, "Do you really need that?" And you're like, "Yes, I need that." And she's like, "If
exactly."
Yep. And then you broke it.
Oh, see, we had them directly at school, so our parents never had to come there. We just had the school librarian, and I don't know.
Get a couple books.
I guess when you're rich, they set them private book fairs up for you.
Yeah,
it was just me and my mom. We were
book fairs
very,
would go
very
straight to his house.
Yeah,
that's exactly it. It was just a mobile book.
Not
fair.
even my house, my vacation home. I'd have them show up at my vacation home, so I was in a good headspace. Getting some sun, and then I'd be like, "Oh, I want this book. I want that book. I'll take this one as well." And then they would send it to my house. So when I got off vacation, I had my books.
So, I think what we've just concluded is we've just invented Amazon.
Yes, I hear that's going to be huge.
Hooray! Good for us. Look out, Jeff Bezos. We've just invented your shit. Yeah.
Oh, it's like hot tub time machine all over again.
Oh my God!
This is not the brunch gimmick I expected.
No, it's not at all the brunch gimmick I expected. Let's get back to wrestling.
Wrestling.
Let's get back to wrestling. Let's get to watching some wrestling. We got, like I said, Ride or Die taking on the team of the Canadian Goose and Wolf Boy, Will Mantla. This was a blast. And you know what? One thing I'm really, really proud of that we've been able to do a couple of times with Love Pro Wrestling, obviously outside of some unfortunate circumstances when maybe there are flight issues or injuries or stuff like that. We've always got next people up and always great people up and great wrestlers up. So I'm sure, and Zach, if you're in the chat at all, because we're about 14 minutes from bell time at WWS, but Zach can attest to the many graphic design changes that we had to make for this match. But like I said, all for great reasons and people that I really, really loved seeing in our ring. Wolf Boy Will is pretty well a day one trainee of the clandestine.
Oh, look at that guy.
It was very, very warm. It's literally like +2 today, which would be about +30. 30 to 35 for you, Pluggo. Which, like, it's February in Canada. So usually we're like, well, you heard me talking to JPJ a couple of weeks ago.
I thought you were going to insert JPJ into this match.
We thought about it.
Hey, you're here.
Really
Blair and JPJ take on Ride or Die. Why not?
Some sparks to fly. Some bad blood.
How long do you think you guys would have lasted?
I think by this point they also had perhaps had a few refreshments. Brainbuster Brew was a flowing there on Friday, January 26th. And huge shout out to Alley Cat, and as always, you guys, huge shout out to Zach for the label design between him and Alley Cat's can design team and everyone in between. Like, it's kind of cool. Our last ones looked really great. These ones are miles above. They're streets ahead.
No easy wins in LPW. Not even on Thursday.
Scramble champion T.Y. Jackson. I talked to that guy for our Patreon.
Hold on, I'm going to. There we go.
Don't forget to plug the Patreon, Spencer. I love Wrestling CA on Patreon for all of your exclusives.
How many likes are we at, you guys? Does anybody have a count? Ophelia, you are our official statistician. I want to announce a match.
Ooh.
We have a pretty neat little match. Speaking of a scramble.
Oh, this is for Steamboat Willie. That's a great graphic,
Slamboat.
by the way.
Slamboat
Steamboat. Slamboat. Did I call it Steamboat? Yeah.
I think we're at 7 likes, if I'm not mistaken.
Blair.
Yeah. Oh.
Sounds to me like
One of my favorite clips was when Seven walked out and TJ had the hand in the wrong spot, and you just see Jack hit his hand.
I knew someone would bring it up. I was really worried I was going to do the same there.
I did, so it's okay.
Here we are, still champs.
You remember, Boris, the reason they have these titles.
Weird seeing them get booed.
Didn't show
I
up.
don't like it.
Deservedly so, though. Like,
Sure.
let's just get real. We all saw what happened in the gauntlet. Like, literally, obviously there was the intermission, but right before this.
You look really disappointed.
Why is he coming
Yeah,
back
like-
out here?
Eli Surge, we saw him come up short against Reed.
It's very disappointing on the clandestine society's end, man.
He has
All of them,
reemerged.
like Ride or Die, of course,
What
but
does this
all of
have
them
to do with
included.
Jared Rogers?
I think we're about to find out.
You know, I was in the back and I was thinking, you're right. You should be sick of missed flights and injuries. And honestly, it sounds like a conspiracy.
Just a great line.
That was perfect.
Yeah, that was
Like,
well
just
done.
an excellent line.
It's good to see Eli Surge back, too.
Yeah. Oh, I love Eli.
I thought you were going to have him pull double duty here when he started talking, and I was like, yes.
Oh, but then he threw. Oh my God, this is one of my favorite lines. I got to turn it up here for a sec. Sorry.
I know in this crowd, there's some honkies and there's some howlers.
Honkies and howlers.
Honkies and howlers.
Just an unbelievable line.
Some night howlers from Zootopia.
A new challenger has entered. We saw the Canadian Goose last night put up a hell of a fight against Michael Richard Blaze. Wolf Boy Will Manley in action last
Heck
night
yeah.
as well.
And you know what? Like I said, it's
And they have teamed
obviously
up at the
we're
behest
excited
of
to have
Eli
Flores
Sarge,
back.
and
We're
they're gonna
excited
take
obviously
on
for Jared to be
Robert
back
Guy.
this month. But
Things just
it's always nice when you get to get new people in the ring, but selfishly it's always cool when you get the opportunity to get these guys in. Like I said, Will's been like a day one trainee of Clandestine. You can say the same about the Goose. But this was Goose's first Friday night event with us at the Rec Room since quite literally changed the game. And he's wrestled a couple of times on the Sherwood Park shows and the Thursday nights. Obviously, he's an integral part of, but just very cool.
Yeah, it was
And
great
seeing the
seeing
entire Rec Room, honk along with him is like my favorite thing. Sorry to cut you off there, Blair, but oh my God, like
it's
seeing everybody in the crowd, it's fantastic.
It's true. It's great to see these guys get the opportunity because, I mean, like, seeing Will continue to grow as a part of LPW since his inception, you know, since he started.
Yeah.
Seeing Goose get the opportunity, you know, at the Friday night show, especially coming off the Thursday night facing off with MRB. I mean, it was just a really incredible night to see this.
Yeah, and there's another one for you for the Patreons. I've got all of the match edited, and I admittedly am catching up on that end of things. Like I said, after our fundraiser there last night, I'm sure all of y'all know that, well, I was a little swamped. But I've got every match edited. I will be having a couple of free previews thrown up on there. And ideally, I believe tomorrow, pending how Zach's day goes, we should have a new edition of the LPW show. See, look at me tying all of this together, Pluggo and Blair. I'm getting good at this. Featuring JPJ and one Rich King.
I got a really fun scoop out of this LPW 22 event featuring our buddy JPJ. I asked him about it the other day. So did he? He went out and hung with Larry Woods one night. Got in real late and faved ring crew. I heard Spencer.
JPJ went ahead and maybe took a bit of a nap through our their ring crew because
Big star JPJ
went and had a few refreshments, and JPJ came in at about 6 in the a.m.
Yeah, because I got a video.
Had a few refreshments. Had some hot pot, I was told.
I got a video at like 3:30 in the morning from Larry, JPJ, and I think it was Michael Allen, Richard Clark, and it's let's have it go.
None of that surprises me.
They're like Pluggo. I woke up and I was like, I was asleep. And then I heard he skipped out of ring crew because he's a big star now.
He slept. I will say, skipping out versus sleeping through are two very different things. I've slept through some things, and while it's not ideal, I certainly can empathize there.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Skipping is a different story. But if it's funnier to say skipping, then let's go with that.
Yeah,
you know what? That's what we're gonna clip this, and we're gonna air it on Thursday as Pluggo shoots hard on JPJ.
I think
the clickbait theory with it.
JPJ is going to shoot hard on Thursday. I'm looking forward to the rant of the century.
If you thought we were hot about, you thought we were hot about The Rock.
I had to talk him off of ledge, not literally, but you know, woof. He was good. He was livid. He's still mad about it.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Again, another quick cover and another from Will Mantla.
Look at Stephen Crow looking like $1 million. Look at that. Love that.
Oh, Stephen Crow looking like $1 million. Again, if you watch the match that him and T.Y. Jackson had the night before at LPW CWS, like there's a huge bandage over Stephen's right eye there because I don't know where it happened, but at some point, like he just got cut open there. Rip down, please.
Where can you find that match, Spencer Love?
You can find it on patreon.com/lovewrestlingca. Who do you think you are, Pluggo? You think that I'm not going to be able to plug that right off the top of my head? Patreon.com/lovewrestlingca. Wherever podcasts are played, videos are viewed, or awesome content is created by awesome people, buddy.
Sometimes even Connor McDavid needs an assist, bro.
Connor McDavid usually picks up a lot of assists. In fact, this year, that's fair. My goodness, that is cool. That like backbreaker into the lariat, I love it. I kind of hate the methods. I really enjoy the wrestling still.
I will say though, you definitely they've been calling you out for about a month now about the lack of tag teams in this division, and you just went ahead and gave them like the toughest tag team in Canada, maybe in North America. Jesus.
Yep. Put up or shut up, I guess is the best way to put it. And they've certainly, they've certainly, and speaking for Ride or Die, I should say, like, results speak for themselves, right? Like, if they're looking for a challenge, they have defeated every team we've put in front of them so far, whether it's BLAIR, whether it's these two. You know, they certainly came into this one in a different situation than their match at Rogers, where they had very little prep time for this one. Obviously, the team debuted while they're already in the ring, right?
Yeah.
So, if they want a challenge, then it's my job to give it to them, whether I appreciate the way they bring it up or not, right? So, also, huge shout out because I really, really love what we've been able to do with our production for the last couple of shows, but this one specifically is like, I really love the sort of fourth camera, I guess we've got, that Nick's sort of standing in the back there. Like that sort of darker camera, that almost like GoPro fan cam that we've got. I love the look of it.
Almost becoming grand champion last night. Oh, come on. Hey, you were there, man. It was not a walk in the park.
I love Dash and Boris together, by the way.
I do too. I think they're absolutely excellent together. Like, you know, if you've wow, we're plugging the Patreon a lot lately, but like if you've been tuning into the Thursday shows for the last 6 months, 5 months or so, like Dash has been getting better and better and better. That's one of my favorite things about this promotion, and the Thursday night shows even specifically is, you know, you get the opportunity to give people new opportunities. Redundancy is redundant. I know I used opportunity twice there. But it's cool to give people that chance, because like Dash was very naturally talented right off the bat. Just keeps getting better and better and better. You know, we brought up Will earlier. We brought up Goose earlier. Like, it's great to see.
It's something you always want to see when it comes to wrestling. You want to see the next sort of wave coming up, and more people get introduced, being able to hone their craft and really add something to the team. So I think,
dude, it's because of stuff like the Thursday night shows that we're able to do stuff like this, right? Like, people can come out and they can, you know, speaking for the Goose specifically, like that was his first match back with Love Pro, not because we didn't want him to be wrestling, but because the guy was hurt for the better part of a year. Right? So you come in, you get the chance, and he's obviously wrestled prior to coming back on the Thursday show, but like, it's cool to get him in there, get his feet wet, so to speak, and no pun intended for a Goose. But like, it's cool because you get the opportunity, you sort of get to feel a little bit more comfort. And I can only assume, I'm not a wrestler, I've said that a million times, but the more comfortable you feel, the more trust that you're going to have, and you know, the better your matches are going to be.
Trying to get that leg free, trying to escape.
Oh,
He found salvation, Boris.
I also will say I love Goose having the wolf face paint on there too. It looks good. A friend of mine went to a match last night at the Commodore in Vancouver, had all the praise for TFA. Again, maybe don't like the methods in Love Pro over the last couple of months, but like, results speak for themselves and TFA speaks for herself. Like, it's pretty cool now. And I was actually having this conversation at our show last week. All of our titles like are starting to get a bit of a lineage for them now. Like, we've got our first 2-time grand champion. We've got multi-title champions. We've got, you know, a bit of a track record. We're still a very new promotion, but like, TFA of every champion we've had is still our longest reigning. Which ironically enough, 316 days is just perfect.
oh hell yeah.
Exactly.
Stone Cold.
Got caught, took too much time, got caught by Stephen Crow, held on.
And as Ophelia actually brought up there earlier, you can see TFA, you can see TY Jackson, you can see me, MRB, a ton of us from the Love Pro Wrestling crew at Making Kayfabe, which premieres on CBC Gem on February 23rd. Patreons, stay tuned though. We're going to have a pretty exciting announcement on that one coming up here sooner rather than later. And it's already exciting. If you guys haven't seen the clip from the first meeting we had with Fake News Neville that they put out as a little bit of a teaser, it's certainly going to be a great watch.
The Cowboy crashed, and Ride or Die
Just
And that's
having
it.
boiled
That's
goose for dinner.
Now, I am going to take that out purely for the fact that I don't want us to get any demonetization or anything like that as you hide behind Rich King there. At
I'd be good with a Rich
Athletics.
King face tattoo. Just right.
Well, I would be very fine with you guys going out of your way to support RK Athletics this month. If you head to their social media, Rich is doing 2,000 push-ups this month in support of, I believe it was men's mental health, a cause I know is really close to his heart. And if you've got the opportunity to support a great guy, do it online and make sure you do it on February 23rd at LPW 23. Slamboat Willie. See, I was Pluggo. You called it Steamboat Willie earlier, and now
I saw a Freudian slip. Now I'm worried that I said it. Now I'm worried I said it in the TY interview.
That's
now
okay.
You got me
as long
thinking about it.
As long as we specifically say Slamboat Willie and don't use redacted, we're good to go.
I hope Wolf Boy comes out with some Slamboat Will shirts.
There you go.
Hey Siri, call Will Mantla. Folks, thank you very, very much for hopping on. It's been a blast. I have not admittedly heard from Ravenous Randy Myers, but you better gosh dang believe that we know he is busy as all heck with their show, coming up on the next coming days. I believe I'm pulling up the deck straight here. That's why I'm so freaking distracted. We are looking from February 22nd to 25th. It is Love You Weirdo at the Slice of Life Gallery. Hopefully they can hop on here sooner rather than later and have a chat with us. But admittedly, selfishly, it let old Pluggo and I go off on a bit of a tangent about the Raw.
Tales as old as time.
Yep.
What can he say except you're welcome?
In the end of time, there was a man who knew the way.
So I've got a bit of a controversial opinion here. I really, really do. So I firmly believe that School of Rock, if they had played Jack Black's song, they would have won the Battle at the Bands. But since they didn't, and this is no shade against the actual song School of Rock, but because of the fact that they played that song, and love you some Zach Mooneyham, but they shouldn't have played his song. They should have stuck with what they knew. They should have stuck with the song that they had more prepared for. Because in my humble opinion, they did win, and No Vacancy deserved to win the Battle at the Band.
What?
Yeah. Earned it.
I don't know if I can.
100%.
I don't know if I can respect that take.
I'm going to pull up, and here's a fun fact for you. I've got to pull up his actual title, School of, because Spider, the guitarist that replaced Jack Black in School of Rock, he went on to become a district attorney.
Nice.
Which is great, because all I can imagine is Spider walking in as a district attorney being like, sorry guys, I was at my other job before this, in that shirt that only has sleeves on it.
So you're a teacher? That's hot.
That exact shirt. I can only imagine that coming up as a district attorney. But thank you guys for hopping on. If you haven't yet and you want to, whether you're tuning in the replay or you're tuning in for the last couple of minutes here on the Brunch Gimmick, throw us a like, throw us a subscription. We've got a lot of great matches coming out here over the next few weeks. We got a couple of sneak peeks from the Oil Rumble coming out, the first ever independent wrestling show at Rogers Place, and a whole lot more coming up over the next few days. Maddie, love you too, friend. Thank you for hopping in. Like you hear me say a million times at the shows, if you're just tuning in, throw us a like, hammer the subscription button, and all that sort of good stuff. But however you choose to support Love Pro Wrestling, it means a whole heck of a lot. Pluggo, what do you got on tap for Between Two Beards this week? Do you have a guest organized? You got anything on tap thus far? Are you able to give us a little bit of a sneak peek for what sneak peek? Excuse me.
Freak? Yep, I got all the freaks,
on
baby.
Thursday nights. Give me the freak.
We don't have a guest lineup at the moment, but that always is subject to change with us. But I do, like I alluded to earlier, JPJ is not in a good mood. And if you thought the Paul O'Neill rant was an all-timer, I have a feeling he's going to eclipse that on Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on this very channel, Between Two Beards.
Heck yeah, Blair Pacheco, Grainmaker.
Hi.
Where can the people find you? What can they expect coming up from you? Can you give us a little taste or a little tidbit of what you got coming up?
Next Saturday you'll find me with that gem below me doing 4 Exposure as we take a look at the world of independent wrestling.
Yeah.
So we just did an episode with Katrina Creed, and that was fantastic. So you can go back and watch it on the Love Wrestling YouTube page, which you can also subscribe to because there's some incredible content on there. So don't miss out.
We even
Look
have
at us.
we even have a new banger alert.
You do have a new banger alert. Nicely done. V2. I quite like it. Friends, for me, you can follow me at Spenny Love. I've got to remember at some point here to type in the little like subtitle I can get here, but you can follow me at Spenny Love. But don't just follow me, follow everybody here at Love Wrestling CA, whether individually or wherever podcasts or played videos are viewed or awesome contents created by awesome people at Love Wrestling CA. Like I said, we've got a lot of matches coming out here over the next few weeks on this YouTube channel. Got a lot of great stuff coming out on the Patreon. We've got some exciting news regarding documentaries. We've got a major event coming up at the end of the month at the Rec Room South Edmonton Common. Heck, we've got 2 major events coming up at the end of the month. And next month, Nicole Matthews and Speedball Mike Bailey go one-on-one for the first time ever. We got lots of great stuff coming up until at least the end of March. And I can guarantee if you thought we were just getting started last month, I continue to say we are just getting started. There's lots of great stuff in the next little bit. Meet Forever. Elliot Tyler is heading back for the end of the month. That's a friggin' headline in my books. I'm very, very excited to have another member of the Dangerous Knights crew back here in YEG. But that's for another day. That's potentially for next week. You know what? I'm going to send Elliot a message. Maybe he wants to hop on it and just watch some wrestling here next Sunday. That just sounds like a fun little guest to have. Hell of an individual. So I'll send that off. No guarantees. I'm thinking of this on the spot. You're seeing again how the sausage is made, like you did at the start when I forgot to loop our intro. Anyways, I won't loop the extra. You don't need to stay tuned once that hits, but thank you for staying tuned for the last 1 hour, 6 minutes, and now 10 seconds for
12 seconds.
Rainmaker Wrestling Podcast's
13,
own
14,
Blair Pacheco. For
16.
Between Two Beards, Pluggo, for both of 4 Exposure's handsome hosts. I've been Spencer Love. I'll continue to be Spencer Love, and we will continue to be here at 11 a.m. Mountain, 1 p.m. Eastern every Sunday for the Brunch Gimmick. Thanks for tuning in, friends. We'll see you on the next one.